Life in the Republic was nothing like life at the Broken Arrow, where the only thing to remind you you weren't dead was the constant bickering between old Miss Hodge and Irene. Downtown Tucson was lively, with secretaries clicking down the sidewalks in high-heeled sandals and banker and lawyer types puffy-necked in their ties, and in the evening prostitutes in get-ups we wouldn't believe. There was one who hung out near the Republic who wore a me-skirt that looked like Reynolds Wrap, and almost every day a new type of stockings, fishnets in all different colors, and one pair with actual little bows running down the back. Her name was Cheryl. There was also a type of person who lived downtown full-time, not in the Republic, but in the bus station or on the sidewalk around the Red Cross Plasma Center. These people slept in their clothes. I know that living in the Republic only put a few flights of stairs above such people, but at least I did sleep in pajamas. And then there was this other group. These people did not seem to be broke, but they wore the kind of clothes Mama's big house ladies used to give away but you'd rather go naked than wear to school. Poodle skirts and things of that kind. Standing in line at the lunch counters and coffee shops, they would rub the backs of each other's neck and say, "You're holding a lot of tension there." They mainly didn't live downtown, but had studios and galleries and empty storefronts that had once been J.C. Penney's and so forth. Some of these still had the old signs on the faces of the brick buildings, which is to say that at first I had no idea what was going on in those storefronts. One of them that I passed by nearly every day had two amazing things in the front window. It looked like cherry bombs blowing up in boxes of wet sand, and the whole thing just frozen in mid-kaboom. Curiosity finally got the better of me, and I walked right in. I knew this was no Woolworth's. Inside there was more of these things, one of them taller than me and kind of bush-shaped, all made of frozen sand. A woman was writing something on a card under one of those sand things that was hanging on the back wall, kind of exploding out of a metal frame. The woman had on a pink sweater with white ankle socks, pink high heels, and these tight pants made out of the skins of a pink silk leopard. She came over with their clipboard and kind of eyed Turtle's hands, which were sticky, I'll admit, but a good 2 feet clear of a sand bush. "This is terrific," I said. "What's it supposed to be?" "It's a non-representational," she said, looking at me like I was some kind of bug she just found in her bathroom. "Excuse me for living," I said. She was about my age, no more than 25 anyway, and had no reason I could see for being so snooty. I remember this rhyme Mama taught me to say to kids who acted like they were better than me. You must come from Hog Norton, where pigs go to church and play the organ." The thing was sitting on a square base covered with a brown burlap, and a little white card attached it said, "Bisbee Dog Number 6. I didn't see the connection, but I acted like it. I was totally satisfied with that. "Bisbee Dog 6, I said. That's all I wanted to know. Turtle and I went all around checking out the ones on the walls. Most of them were called something relief. Ascendant relief, endogenous relief, motive relief, galvanic relief. After a while I realized that the little white cards had numbers on them too. Numbers like $400. "Comic relief," I said to Turtle. "This one is instant relief," I said. "See, it's an Alka-Seltzer, frozen between the plop and the fizz." On some days like that one, I started to go a little bit crazy. This is how it was when all the money you have can fit in one pocket and you have no job and no prospects. The main thing people did for money around here was to give plasma, but I drew the line. Blood is the body's largest organ. I could just hear Eddie Ricketts saying, and I wasn't inclined to start selling my organs when I was still alive. I did inquire there about work, but the head man in a white coat and puckery white loafers looked at me over and said, "Are you a licensed phlebotomist in the state of Arizona?" In this tone of voice, Like, who was I to think I could be on the end of the needle that doesn't hurt? And that was the end of that. Down the block from the plasma center was a place called the Burger Derby. The kids who worked there wore red caps, red and white, striped shirts, and what looked like red plastic shorts. One of them, whose name tag said, "Hi, I'm Sandy," also wore tiny horse earrings. But that couldn't have been part of the uniform. She couldn't make you pierce your ears. They couldn't make you pierce your ears. That'd have to be against some law. Sandy usually worked the morning shift, and we got to know each other. My room in the Republic had a hot plate for warming cans of soup, but sometimes I ate out just for the company. The Burger Derby was safe. No one there was likely to ask you where you were holding your tension. Sandy turned out to be horse crazy. When she found out I was from Kentucky, she treated me like I had personally won the Derby. "You're so lucky," she said. "My absolute dream is to have a horse of my own, and braid flowers in its mane, and prance around in a ring and win ribbons and stuff." She had this idea that everyone in Kentucky owned at least one thoroughbred, and it took me some time to convince her that I never even been close enough to a horse to get kicked. "In the part of Kentucky I come from, people don't own thoroughbreds," I told her. "They just wish they could live like one. The thoroughbreds had their own swimming pools. My whole country didn't even have a swimming pool." I told her what a hoot we all thought it was when these rich guys paid $6 million for a secretariat after his running days were over. Since he was supposedly the most valuable stud on the face of the earth, and then he turned out to be a reticent breeder, which is a fancy way of saying homosexual. He wouldn't go near a filly for all the sugar in Hawaii. Sandy acted kind of shocked to hear the news about Secretariat sex life. "Didn't you know that? I'm sure that made the national news." "No," she said, scouring the steam table like a fiend. She kept looking around to see if anyone else was in the restaurant, but no one was, I'm sure. I always went there around 10:30, which is a weird time of day to eat a hot dog, but I was trying to get Turtle and me onto 2 meals a day. "What's it like to work here?" I asked her. There had been a help wanted sign in the window for going on 2 weeks. "Oh, it's fantastic," she said. I'll bet, I thought. Serving up Triple Crown chili dogs and you bet your burgers and chasing off drunks and broke people who went around the tables eating non-dairy creamer straight out of the packets and would be fantastic. She looked about 14. "You should apply for it, really. They couldn't turn you down, being from Kentucky." "Sure," I said. What did she think? That I was genetically programmed to fry chicken? What's it pay? $3.25 an hour, plus your meals. What am I even talking about? I got this, kid. I said, I have to pay somebody more than that to take care of her. Oh no, you could just do what I do. Take her to the Kids Central Station. You got a kid? Yeah, a little boy, 21 months. I thought Pittman County was the only place on earth where people start having babies before they learn the multiplication tables. I asked her what Kids Central Station was. It's free. See, it's this place in the mall where they look after your kid while you shop. But how do they know? See what I mean? The only thing is you have to go and check in every 2 hours to prove you're still shopping. So I just dash over there on my breaks. The number 5 bus just goes right straight there. Or I'll get some friend to go. The people that work there don't know the difference. I mean, they just got these jillion kids crawling over the place. How are they going to know somebody's really one of them mothers? Sandy was sliding the little white buckets of cauliflower and shredded carrots and garbanzo beans into the holes into the salad bar, getting ready for the lunch crowd. For some odd reason, they had artificial grapes strewed out over the ice around the small buckets. I'll go check it out, I said, although I already had a good notion of what it'd be like. If you're going right now, could you check in for my little boy? His name's Seattle. I'm sure he's the only one there named Seattle. Just make sure he's okay, will you? Like Seattle, Washington? No, like Seattle Slew, the racehorse. He's a little towhead. You can't miss him. He looks just like me, only his hair's blonder. Oh, they have a requirement that they have to be able to walk. Can your daughter walk? Oh, sure she walks. When there's some place she wants to go. A celery stick fell out of the bucket onto the floor and Sandy swiped it up and took a bite. Oh my God. Well, I couldn't very well let a customer eat it, she said. Don't look at me, I said. It's no skin off my teeth if you want to eat the whole bucket of celery and the artificial grapes besides. For $3.25 an hour, I think you're entitled. She munched kind of thoughtfully for a minute, and her eyelashes were stuck together with blue mascara and sprung out all around her eyes like flower petals. You know, your little girl doesn't look a thing like you, she said. I mean, no offense, she's a cute button. She's cute as a button. She's not really mine, I said. She's just someone I got stuck with. Sandy looked at both of us, her elbow cocked and her hip and the salad tongs frozen in midair. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.